There we go. Hey,
All right.
hey. Hi.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Don't ask me why my camera is so dark. I don't know. I'm all like, focus.
Sorry, I'm all
Anyway,
whitewashed. So it's like no matter what happens, it's an interesting production. I feel you.
you're right. It is what it is. So,
Mhm.
hey guys, welcome to the Next Level Network Marketing Marketers. And today we're going to be talking about how to rapidly build a community of 1,000+ followers in less than a month, guys. Okay, so we are super excited. It's something that we have worked on, it's something that we have done, we have tested and evaluated, and found some key points on how to get to that 1,000+ following, right? So if you're having the problem of not growing, maybe it's on Instagram, maybe it's on TikTok, maybe it's on Facebook Reels. If you're having an issue or a problem where you're just kind of stuck and you can't get the right audience in front of you, your numbers aren't changing, it's like one a day, and it's like sitting like you're watching water boil, right? Waiting for the water to boil. You're like,
Takes
come on.
forever.
Yes. So, the solution that we have for you is knowing who your audience is and what they want. Imagine that, right? We talk all the time about our audience and what it is that they want, what is it that they want to see more of. So, by the way, in case we haven't met yet, I am Cassie Billingsley, aka that systematic chick. And this over here is my fabulous, busy bestie, Sarah Lynn Kate, who is an amazing mentor and very knowledgeable in all the areas.
Hey, thanks for that shout out. You're so sweet.
And if you didn't see our stories, we wore the same Halloween costume on Halloween. Okay. We didn't even know. It's something that we each bought like 2 years ago. And we're like, hey, we're going to wear this. And we showed up on a Zoom together and we like busted up laughing because great minds think alike and had the
Yep.
same Halloween costume on.
It was totally unplanned, but it was great. We were both Bambi or like a deer or whatever you want to call it. We were both a deer. So I'm curious if you guys dressed up for Halloween, what was your costume? Honestly, I have this dream of mine. I'm gonna make it a reality next year where I want to be like a T-Rex or like what's the one with the big badonkadonk? The shield. I forgot what it's called. But and just like be this an inflatable dinosaur going through my house to give like candy for the trick or treaters. Like that is my dream. So
I love him. My son has that costume. He got it a couple years ago, and it is the funniest thing. The big inflatable dinosaurs, where if you run, it's like, and it's like,
so good. The other one that cracks me up is the inflatable alien that's like they're
oh,
kidnapping the person. It's so funny. And like the reactions that people do, it's great.
yes,
I love costumes. They make me giggle. So
thank you. I
uh
enjoyed all the TikToks and reels and all the things I saw.
same, same. By the way, we've got a friend. Hey, friend, Facebook user. I'm looking at the chat. So it is Shelby. Hey, Shelby, how are you, girlfriend? I don't
Hello.
know why Shelby, or like maybe StreamYard doesn't like you either. It doesn't like me, but if you guys are new, go ahead and there's a link above this video. Just go ahead, click on that, give them permission, and then hopefully your name will then come up. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. But
Okay.
anyways, let's dive on in. Um, so this is a pretty exciting chat. As Cassie had mentioned, like we're here to show you how to rapidly build a community of 1,000+ followers in less than a month. Both Cassie and I have both done this, and the three things that we're going to share with you is the things that have worked well for us, but then also I'm going to say something that's like, I don't know, a little bit newer. So the very first one, which I'm going to be talking about, which I find a little bit newer, at least the concept, which some of you might kind of like question, is to niche up in order to niche down.
Yes.
And
And
you
I
might be
questioned
like,
it, so you're not alone. I was like, wait, what do they want us to do?
and when I heard it, I'm like, huh, this is contradicting some things. But then I'm like, oh, this really makes some sense. All right, I like it. I like it. So, who here on TikTok, Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels have been told niche down, hyper niche down, only focus on, like, if you're weight loss, only focus on keto. Like, don't stray anything from that. Or if you're in makeup, only focus on one particular makeup. Like, just be super, super tight with your niche. I did. Like, that's, yep. Like I did. Yes, Shelby, your name does come up now. So it works. Sweet. So, with niching up, in order to niche down, let me explain it a little bit on these platforms. Instead of only talking about weight loss, you might talk about, you might provide content that shares a little bit more about, like, affirmations. You might share motivational quotes. You might share, so this is like inside your content. Basically, by niching up inside your content, you're going to be attracting a broader audience where your niche lies within. By attracting a broader audience with this sort of content, it's going to drive up engagement, it's going to drive up comments, it's going to drive up shares, it's going to drive up likes, it's going to drive up save, it's going to drive up follows. And what does Facebook, or actually all the platforms, prioritize? They prioritize engagement. They prioritize the shares, the saves. They don't just prioritize the hearts or the watches. They prioritize those who actually take some form of action within your content, making your content go further. Interesting, right? So you might have some of these videos. Now, I'm not saying like get all crazy and just do only dance trends. That's too broad of a niche. You still want to make it relevant to your audience, of course. So, but in order to niche down, to help you niche down, this is where you're going to put keywords inside your profile bios. So, for example, I am a big, like, advocate for mental health. Myself, I have struggled with mental health since I was like 16, like 15, 16, like more than half my life now. And I've processed a lot of stuff throughout it. So I'm passionate about it, but I'm also very passionate about gut health. So here, instead of just hyper focusing on gut health, I am putting out content in the TikTok world that could also speak to those who are looking for mental health. So, like I said, affirmations, motivation, exercise, different foods, different things that are relevant to gut health as well. But in my bio, you would see that there are things about gut health inside of it. But I'm not only talking about gut health in my content. I'm trying to niche up in order to niche down so that I'll derive, or the organic reach will go further. But then as they look at my profile even more, they're going to see, oh, this is her niche. I'm going to hit that follow. So it's going to help you grow much faster. So that's the very first one. I'm curious to hear everybody else's thoughts on that, because I know, Shelby, you just said, yes, niche down and be super specific. But the thing is that sometimes we get hyper specific, we get a little too confused. We feel like we're just put in this little box. Cassie, have you ever felt that way? Where you're like, I'm just in this little box and I'm like, I
Yes,
feel
and
like
I'm
I'm
not meant to be in a box.
Yeah, same. Nobody's meant to be put in a box. Like putting
I
baby
don't
in the
work
corner.
right. I don't work well in a box.
Same. And so this allows you to be a little bit more creative. Let your personality shine a bit more. Let people get to know more of who you are. And that helps build up more of a community rather than just pushing out one style of content and eventually getting burnt out or tired of it. Because that was me. I got tired of it. I'm like, I'm so much more than just this. So
Right, because you get tired of talking about the same thing day in, day out. Especially if you're doing 3 TikTok videos a day, like you're talking about the same thing over and over. Well, you're not going to grow because people are, unless they're your ideal person, right? And they're just going to be like, oh, one follow, maybe a week, maybe one day, you know. But doing this, like this clicked for me when Sarah Lynn was talking to me about it, and that I'm like, oh yeah. And it has, because on my TikTok, I am all about just balancing yourself. Like being balanced. And I can talk about just getting up and dancing, raising that vibration, right? I can talk about taboo subjects of, your sexual desire. I can talk about, all these things that balance us as women. And I have
Absolutely.
so much fun.
Absolutely. Like there's so much there. And that's what I love about it. Like you're able to be more of who you are. You're more authentic and true to yourself. I love
Yes.
that. So there was something I before we move on to the next point, I am curious for those who are watching, whether they're live or they're catching the replay, share your niche right now. And I like, go ahead, drop it in the chat. And let's just see if it's a hyper niche and if there's a way that you could go ahead and broaden it a little bit inside your content. But make sure inside your bio that, yeah, you do niche down a little bit, but your content could be a little bit broader as long as it's relevant to who it is you want to help. So just curious.
Yeah, I'd love to see those too. And so you may be thinking, okay, well, that's great. Now I'm attracting, all of these people, but how do I specifically attract those people? Like, what is your audience actively looking for? And how do I put those keywords in there? Okay. So hashtags are your keywords, right? Whether you're on Reels or whether you're in the TikTok world. Hashtags is that what audiences are looking for. So if you've never gone through and done like hashtag research, I encourage you to do so. If there's people that you follow that are in the industry, maybe of mental health, maybe it's, balancing yourself, maybe it's motivation, you can pick a few different hashtags from that pot, because that's going to start attracting those people to you, the people that are researching that when they get on Reels or something and they're like, hey, I wonder what low libido, hashtag videos has on it. Or I'm struggling with my hormones, women hormones. I'm struggling with gut health. I'm struggling with the microbiome. Whatever the case people are looking for, they're looking for that solution in those videos. They're searching those hashtags. So I encourage you to make a list of hashtags that can encompass your brand. Remember that niche up brand, not so specifically to that niche down. Because they're going to start to follow you. Like Sarah Lynn said, they're going to go to your bio. They're going to go to your main page and see who it is you are. Like, what are you about? So looking for those key hashtags, I would use hashtags that are in the thousands, not the millions. And I don't mean like 999,000. I mean like 1,000 to maybe 5,000 tops, because then they're not being overused. Your content is not going to get lost. And you guys inside of our group here, there's TikTok trainings. If you're interested in TikTok, we dive right into this and get very specific on how to find those hashtags, because I could spend forever here. So that's in the guide section. If you're curious on TikTok training specifically, hashtags, it's in there under the guides. But that's how you start to kind of look for what your audience is looking for, what they're wanting, right? And you start to create content around that.
Absolutely. And if you guys need a little like pro tip or a little hack to help identify those hashtags, if you go into TikTok and when you go on, like you're going to click on the little, not the microphone, the little not the hourglass, magnifying glass, and then type in a keyword. And type in, like, you could do multiple searches for different keywords. And you will see the things that people are looking for. TikTok more than ever is now becoming a search engine. Like they're following more of the SEO, which is search engine optimization. Basically is Google. Like I Googled it. People are now TikToking it to do their research. I do it all the time. Like if I'm looking for a recipe now, if I want to hear like actual reviews on a product, I TikTok it. If I want to look up something about like a health issue, I TikTok it now. Like it's very interesting, and I didn't even realize I was doing it until somebody had pointed it out that that's what people are doing. I'm like, holy smokes. It is like now going hand in hand with Google when it comes to people looking things up. So be specific with those keywords, and like be broad with the words like that you're using. So it could be daily affirmations, or you could also include some like gut health or
Mm-hmm.
libido health, like hormone health. Like, think of the things that people are actively researching. And those are the hashtags that you want to use. Absolutely. Um,
100%.
so let's see, we've got somebody. Let's see. So it says Facebook user, but I looked over. It's Deborah. Thank you, my friend. My niche is women over 60 building an online business.
Oh, I like that.
There you go. I like it. I like it a lot. So now I'm curious, Deborah, if you're still watching this, what are some broader topics that you could potentially talk about to help attract those people inside your content? So as you figure that out, I'm going to move on to the next point. So the third point we have for today is you want to create content that your audience actually wants. Sometimes you're like, wait a second, I thought that I was creating content that my audience wants. Not all the time, myself included. I get caught up in that. So it's important that you listen to your followers. Now you might be like, I don't have followers. Then go stalk other people that are in your niche that have followers and read their comments. Look at the questions that they are asking.
Mm-hmm.
Gather that sort of content, screenshot that. Look at the keywords that they are saying. That's the content that people are looking for. So, because I'm just, doing this more so for gut health and even for small business. We'll use a small business example this time around. So if I am looking up content to create for those who are looking to build on social media, network marketers build on social media, I would go look up other people like Ray Higdon, Fraser Brooks, Jesse Lee, and I would go ahead and scroll through their content, but then also their comments and see what is it that people are asking. What is it that people are saying to them? What are the keywords? And like that's going to then I'm going to screenshot and save that for later for myself to create content for when I feel like I don't know what to really say.
Right.
I don't know what to talk about. And it just helps give me that inspiration. Now, obviously, as things go, you want to listen to your own followers. That's going to evolve. So when they start asking questions, answer them right away and share that question like in your, respond in like a video format. That's TikTok. But there's other ways that you could show a question that somebody had asked. I'm not going to really go into that, but it helps when you listen to your followers. They're going to feel like, wow, she's really here for us.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they start asking you questions, they're going to feel like you're a safe spot to start asking them for questions or to start asking you for questions. Another thing when it comes to creating content is that you want to re-educate your following. So sometimes we become such an expert at what we know that we forget that we're bringing in new followers. Oftentimes as you grow and you gain momentum, it'll be on the daily. And sometimes those followers, they have a basic knowledge of something like intermittent fasting. And you might be talking about something that's far greater than intermittent fasting. So sometimes you have to come back to the basics to help re-educate your followers every so often. Sometimes you have to retell your story every so often because you're introducing yourself to new people again. So don't
keep it simple, guys.
Yeah.
Like third, fourth grade reading level. Don't use all the scientific, science behind it. Like keep that simple.
Absolutely. That's so important when it comes to creating content. As soon as you start talking over their head, you're going to lose them. So just keep it in simple terms. And honestly, when you start sharing more your story, more of your experience rather than going in the scientific terms, people are going to relate to it. Not to mention when you use I statements or this is my story, and maybe you're selling products that help with your libido, like you're sharing your story. And instead of saying you, like when you say I, people don't feel like they're being sold to, but they are curious about what helped you. But as soon as you make the shift to you, they're going to be like, you're trying to sell me something. So that's just another thing. But that's really important when you're coming to create content for your audience. Remember, look for what it is that they want. not what you necessarily want. Listen to your followers, answer their questions, and re-educate them, and share your story often. So did I forget? I already shared about the save the question. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yes.
All right. All
You froze
right.
on my end for just a second.
Oh,
So
you did? Okay. I was like, did I
I
forget
was like,
something?
no,
Sorry.
you're perfect. It just froze on my end, and I was like, oh no.
Might
But
be my squirrels.
or my squirrels, who knows? But anyway, so we are excited, guys. And this week, we want to see you taking action, right? We always want you implementing, learning, and taking action, right? We don't want you just to watch these trainings and be like, well, that was great.
Mhm.
Maybe one day I'll do that. Yeah, that sounds good. No, this week in this comment thread, or we might put up a post that says, hey, drop your screenshot your number. So the first thing that I want you to do is I want you to screenshot your number of following that you currently have this week. Okay. So just screenshot it and then drop it in the comments here. And then as you go throughout the week and you're doing your TikToks or your reels, post them, you guys, in the comments here. Unless Sarah Lynn, did you want to do a specific post that says drop your TikTok and reels here and just keep it under that thread, or this video?
I think it could be fun if we do a post. I don't
Yeah.
know. I think it'd just be good because then we could come back to it like month after month and see. I don't know.
Yeah.
At least it'll be good
Okay.
for me.
Yeah. We'll drop a post here shortly that just says drop your TikTok and your reels here. We love watching your guys's. We love following you guys because that's the point of this, right? We're a community here and supporting one another and lifting each other up and helping each other, tweak maybe a thing or two. If there's something that somebody else sees and says, hey, maybe you should do this instead. So we're going to create a post and then we want you guys to drop your TikTok, share them there with us, drop your reels there. We want to see how you're niching up to niche down and what your content looks like to see if we can maybe help you tweak it a little bit or just help with the view times, especially on TikTok. You have to watch it all and then liking it, that kind of stuff. So remember to have fun. Yeah. And remember to have fun with it, guys. Don't put yourself in the box. If you watch my TikToks, I'm all over the place. I'm on my countertops. I am embarrassing my husband. Like, it's just me. I love short form video. I love just having fun with it. I laugh at myself. But it's relatable. So have fun with it and don't put yourself in the box.
Absolutely. I love it. All right, my friends, I'm super excited to see your TikToks. I will be dropping mine in as well. I know Cassie will too. So It'll be a good time. I'm excited to see our growth throughout this month. We just started a brand new month, so it'll be interesting to see. So, all right, if you guys got some value out of it, let us know in the comments below. And then we will be posting a post here shortly on a poll where you guys could also take note. And, if you have any sort of topics that you'd like for us to talk about, feel free to add it to that poll. So keep an eye out for it. You'll be able to vote for the ones that you want to hear about first. And then you could add your own and then we can go from there. So, all right, gang, we'll talk soon. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Love it.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Bye.